welcome to another edition of Arts and Ideas. I'm Sue Swinand, and today we're going to try to tell you all about the Artists Guild of Shrewsbury, which is a very active organization here, and I am delighted to have some representatives from that group here. They're all very fine artists in their own right, but they have many hats that they wear. To my right is Nancy Allen, who is the current president of the organization. And many of you may know her as the recent director of the Board of Health in Shrewsbury. And you were active in health for many years.
20 years with the town.
20 years with the town. And you know, just as an aside, I know you had a degree in art from UMass, and I was curious how you got started in the health field.
You know, when I was working my way through college, I had jobs in just about every food service industry you could imagine. I worked at a deli, I worked in a meat room, a country club, and that made me a really good candidate to be the Board of Health restaurant inspector.
Many of us have artistic tendencies and leanings, but sometimes life doesn't always allow us to pursue those full time. But now you're back, and she's a dynamic leader and bringing all of her talents from her professional life as director of the health department to the Art Guild of Shrewsbury. So I'm very excited about some of the things I see happening with the group. And next we have Robert Wilson, who again, a very fine artist, but he's also has a master's degree in education from and is the art teacher at the Floral Street School for 12 years.
12 years.
Wonderful. And he's involved with some very interesting projects which involve art exchanges with Japan. And I'd like you to tell us about that a little bit later. But I did want to mention that he was awarded Teacher of the Year, Global Education, Massachusetts, and also World Source Award for Excellence in International Education 2007, awarded a Japanese Fulbright Memorial Fund teacher's trip to Japan in 2006. So,
wonderful.
Wow, congratulations on all those awards.
Yeah, those were nice accomplishments.
Well, we're happy to have you at the Floral Street School, I'll say. And next is Brenda Brown, and she's a real estate person by day, and also a very fine painter. And she's going to be telling us about some of the future programs and different activities that happen in the Shrewsbury Art Guild. And next we have Joseph Rice, and he is a painter and also a professional in the field of gilding and frame. How would you describe that?
I do frame making and frame restoration.
What an interesting field to be in. Wonderful. And so we have a very active group here. And I thought we might start by asking Nancy to tell us a little bit about the background of the Art Guild, the Artists Guild of Shrewsbury.
Well, the Guild was formed in 1996 by John Gaston. Most people in town know John. He's a really talented local artist.
Very good painter.
Very good painter.
And the point is they have Gaston Art and Frame right on Route 9.
Yes, yep, and John's the owner. And John has allowed the Guild to have many exhibits there. We used to have our annual jewelry show right at Gaston Art on Route 9 until we got a little too big for that location, but we're going to go back.
With smaller shows. Smaller shows. That would be excellent to have it right in the community.
Yes, and to go in and see John's work is wonderful. Well, John created the Guild, and he stayed on as chairman for many years. And he only left when he felt the Guild was well-founded and would continue.
Settled and on a roll.
On a roll, exactly.
Well, you guys are definitely on a roll. I can see that. A lot of energy there.
And the Guild meets on Mondays, once a month, in the community room at Southgate, which is a beautiful facility for us. Lots of parking. It's easy. Our meetings are always...
It's a nice big meeting room.
Very nice. The light is good. The acoustics are good. And they have no complaints about our guest artists putting a canvas on the floor and using oil paint. And it's just wonderful for us. We can move around and feel...
Well, it's a symbiotic thing. It's good for them, good
Yes.
for you. You know,
Yep,
it's
some
great.
of the residents come and attend our meetings, though none of them are really interested in painting with us.
So you're doing regular meetings, you're doing activities, lectures, demonstrations. The function of the, read the artist statement, because I thought that was a really good
I would
one.
love to read our mission statement.
Mission statement.
To encourage artistic awareness and enjoyment of fine arts, and to encourage growth both on an individual and community level. We are dedicated to accomplishing this goal through exhibits, lectures, demonstrations, instruction, workshops, outdoor sketching, plein air painting, museum trips, and other activities.
That's awesome.
It is.
And the cool part is, this is a membership organization, but anybody can join.
Yes.
And it's a very stimulating activity for people in the community who want to express themselves and have that little impetus to make something, and
Yes.
wonderful. And meet new people who are thinking about art and interested in art.
And everyone's welcome to join. They do not have to be a resident of Shrewsbury. We have members from Boylston, West Boylston, Northborough.
How many members do you have?
We have 40 members now, and we're growing. We started last year with less than 30.
And the more the merrier.
Yes.
New members bring new ideas,
Yes.
better shows,
We're
all of the
looking for
above.
more younger members
Yeah.
like Brenda. And I have to admit that we had fallen away from the mission statement. And the focus of the Guild really became those monthly meetings when we had a guest artist.
Yes.
But I read the mission statement a number
Yes.
of times to the group. And I reminded them that we need to be bigger than just that. And
Yes.
so we've started doing more activities. Some of us went to the Fenway Open Studios.
Yeah. So
Event.
the trips are very,
Yes.
very good.
We've gone to the art demonstrations at the Concord Art Association, which is wonderful.
Sure.
You can sit very close to an artist.
So it's educational, social, and it works both ways. It enriches
Yes.
the community, and it shows the work of the people to the community, and
Yes.
so forth.
And what the members said they wanted is more opportunities to show their work, and opportunities to paint with other people. And we're working towards those goals.
So how many exhibits do you have a year?
In the fall, we exhibit in the big room at the Senior Center. This fall, we also hope to have a small show in the cases at Floral Street School.
Okay.
Late this fall, we hope to go to Gaston.
Okay.
And every year, our big annual
Wonderful.
juried show is at
An
Tatnick.
annual juried show. So, and that's open.
Yes.
Is that open? Yeah.
Yes. At
And
Tatnick.
speaking of which, Joseph Rice was the winner of the, and this painting
Second
that's
prize
behind
winner.
you. Second prize winner.
Yes.
This painting that's behind you was the
Yes.
prize winner in that show. It's really a wonderful piece. I love it, Joseph. And
Thank you.
when I walked in, I recognized it right away as being the South. It has-
Savannah.
Savannah?
It's the Sorrel Weed House on one of the squares in Savannah. And I just fell in love with the play of light and shadow with all that Spanish moss.
It has a feeling of humidity about it, and a feeling of like you could smell the, what are those white flowers, you know?
Well, you've described Savannah. It's
yeah,
humid.
it really feels like Savannah, though, the dense air and wonderful composition, too. And so tell us, you're a fairly new member, but you're also...
I'm a fairly new member, and as we were talking about earlier, I'm one of those people who was an art student, and then, you know, life takes you in different directions, and I think a lot of us are looking for that nudge to get us back. And although you always say, oh, I could just paint at home, you don't have the motivation. So if you can get in a group, even you know, on a casual basis, it inspires you to do a little bit more work.
The other thing is, if, you know, it's like, if nobody ever sees what you make, you kind of need that little bit of feedback from a group of peers, and to exhibit once in a while is very satisfying, only in that you see it yourself and you see how others respond, so that's great. Now tell us about the plein air group.
Well, one of the things, as I mentioned, that brought me to it is I was looking to get in with a group of people who were actually motivated to paint. And I had seen an online version of this where they collected people, and I suggested to Nancy that we look into that. So we just have a regular schedule where on Mondays we try to go someplace local. And one day it was somebody's garden. It may just be Dean Park. We had, on this last very hot day, we had a nice cool morning in the old cemetery in town.
Great.
And it's very casual. We just have a mail message that comes, says we're meeting here. If you can make it, fine. If you want to join along. And again, it just gives you that bit of motivation. You sort of don't want to let the group down by not showing up, so it's a push.
And the time is set, and you're there, and
Yes.
what do they say? Half the battle is being there.
It's like having your gym buddy. You're too
Exactly.
embarrassed not to go, so it gets you into the routine of painting with like-minded people.
Whereas when you're home by yourself, you always say, well, gee, let me just throw that wash on before I go.
Yes.
Let me just clean
It's
that.
the conversations that happen while you're out painting a landscape together with a group.
Sure.
And you can play off each other's work
And
and
also
techniques.
seeing different perspectives, how totally different one person will approach the subject as another. It's all very enriching.
At the end of painting, they have a little peer critique.
Oh, I thought
of
you were going to
what-
say cupcakes.
No, no. What they,
Hot that day for cupcakes. Not a bad idea.
you know, they just set their paintings
Little
up and they look at
critique.
what he chose to paint,
That's
what
nice.
she and how it came out.
And
Wonderful.
so you can grow from each person's
Yes.
response. Yeah,
Yes.
that's good. Very
There's
good.
a lot to be learned by those
Yeah.
events when they're together.
How many are in that group?
Well,
It varies every
It
week.
varies.
But I mean, how many have?
Usually
Oh,
about
anybody
four-
just
anybody,
shows up?
I think it's probably been between like 4 and maybe 8. But
Yes.
it's totally casual. There's no fee. It's just if you're free that morning.
Well, you
Come along
know,
and
I
paint.
have a feeling, and I happen to know a lot of artists in Shrewsbury, and I think that that would be something wonderful for people to be able to participate in.
Well,
Especially
you
in the
know,
autumn when the colors change and it's a
Yeah.
little cooler. It's beautiful
Yeah.
on the
we'll
weekends.
start posting the location on the website.
Okay.
And people wouldn't have to
What
be a
is the
member.
website, Nancy?
It's www.artistguildshrewsbury.com. And we'll
Simple.
post
There it
that
is.
location. People don't have to be a member. They
They
can
don't
come,
even have to be a member.
come see us, and then they might
You
want to
can
join.
go next Monday.
Yes,
Good job if it doesn't, even if it rains.
doesn't matter.
Okay, we better move on so we can cover all of our various topics here. I wanted to ask Robert about the Japan exchange and how that works and what you're doing with that.
Well, I'd like us all to contribute to that dialogue. It's a very interesting project. We send unfinished backgrounds to a group very similar to ours. They're not called a guild, they're called an art group in Tokyo. And they're our age, they're working people who do art, some professionally, but some when they have time. And it's the old expression, we're very similar but very different at the same time. And we would send unfinished backgrounds to that group, and that group would send unfinished backgrounds to us, and it's a collaboration. So we would finish each other's background, create a book similar to this, and then return the backgrounds. This was my counterpart.
Hold it up just a little flatter, maybe they can see that.
My counterpart in Tokyo is a woman by the name of Ryoko Fukuda, and I know you can't see that, but this is her picture. And she compiles this book, and Brenda and I compiled a scrapbook and sent back to them of pictures of us, a little sentence talking about our biographies or our enjoyments of art. So they get not only to see the artwork, but the people's faces.
Nice.
And then Ryoko actually creates a DVD, a slideshow put to music of this artwork, which I'll show in a moment, and the artist's face close up, so you actually see it on your TV set. And it's a beautiful thing to watch. And having this DVD of art and people from Japan and people from Shrewsbury on your TV screen, and the art image is so large and close up, it takes your breath away. It's just so beautiful to watch.
Now, are these available somewhere to be seen, or those discs? Would
Not
you ever?
yet, but that's a
Okay.
good idea.
People could contact you
It would
too,
be such
though.
a great
Yeah.
thing to show at your home.
Yes.
Or have it on a channel where artwork is put to music, and the people who created the artwork it's contemporary art, and it's
Yeah.
collaborative between us and them,
You
so
know,
it's
we have-
unique sense of community.
We have
that
such a
we are
diverse
developing.
population in Shrewsbury. You could probably get projects like this going on, you know, to India and Pakistan and
Well, to
all
tell you the
kinds of
truth,
places.
Sue, I have done that. This project originated from Floral Street School about 8 years ago due to the diverse population of our community, and especially at Floral Street, where we did projects with 3 or 4 schools in India,
Wonderful.
3 schools in China, 4 schools in Japan,
Awesome.
only through the parents of
Yeah.
my students who
Yeah.
gave me the addresses of schools in their home countries. And I would email them principal, and he would put me in contact with an art teacher.
So people, come on
So-
out and let's get this rolling.
Exactly.
This, you know, the beautiful thing is, Nancy and I were saying before, art is a universal language. You know, everybody speaks the same language. Everybody reads the same language. It's a wonderful way of
Yeah.
sharing and experiencing something together, even without any barriers of language.
But what's unique about this is there's an art teacher in Ryoko Fukuda, who I was introduced through a family here in Shrewsbury, and who really understands the project well. And it evolved out of the school to the Artists Guild of Shrewsbury, where we took it from children to adults. And
I
for
love it.
example, this is Nancy Allen's picture. She did a background of watercolor. This is Joseph's picture done by Ryoko's daughter.
Now, Ryoko did the tiger and Joseph did the background?
Well, Ryoko's daughter did.
Uh-huh.
And her name and her picture is here on these lists. And this is Brenda. She's never
Hold it
seen
up
this one
straight,
yet.
Joe.
It came yesterday in the mail, and this is Brenda's and this one is done by my friend Ryoko's husband, Toshihiro. And these were all empty backgrounds, well, just unfinished, and then
So
Mark-
what you're saying
finished
is the people in Shrewsbury create a varied, multicolored field of
Right,
some
correct.
texture and color, and then people respond to that. So the beauty of it, in my mind, is that it forces the artist to start from a new place, which is very stimulating because you have to invent new ideas rather than repeating what
And-
you do all the time.
Right.
I don't know, you stare at
Great
it for a long
idea.
time
Great
before you
idea.
get going.
This particular one, because I'm a gilder, I used some gold leaf, and I thought it was interesting that then they would elect to put something very golden as their image.
I love that one. I love
Yeah.
that one. The tiger seems like he's almost, you know, you feel the state of the tiger's mind somehow, like this universal space, or I
He's
don't know.
relating to that, yes.
It really communicates to me
It
in
also
a big
has
way.
a Japanese feel to it.
Yes, it does.
sometimes. It doesn't.
And the surprising of putting that huge head in the corner, it's very dramatic and beautifully painted too.
This work will be on display on August 20th at the Artists Guild Shrewsbury First Annual Art Festival. So under the pavilion or under the bandstand, people can see the 30 or so works that we've received
So
back.
that's this summer, right?
Yes.
This August in Shrewsbury
Yes.
at the Dean Park.
And there will also be on display at the Shrewsbury Library for the last 2 years. This is the third year of this
Great,
particular project, and it will be up during the winter at our own library.
Okay.
And come up and see it. It's
Okay.
going to be fun.
And Brenda, you're involved with the exhibit at Dean Park, aren't you?
Yes.
Tell us I want to hear all about that.
I'm on the steering committee, and one of the projects that I'm working on with our group is on August 20th is the art festival in Shrewsbury at Dean Park, and it's an all-day event, and it's open to the public. It's free.
Is it open to the public as visitors, or is it also open to any artist?
Both.
Okay.
Artists.
So you don't have to be a member to bring your
You can
work?
be a non-member or a member, and you can...
Is there a fee to like have a table or something?
Yes, it's a $30 fee for non-members, and they get a 10 by 10 space at Dean Park.
How about members?
And the members is $15
for
So you
a
could
member.
become a member and
Exactly.
get a big break.
On the website.
price.
Share that
Yeah.
price too. with
So
other
what will
people.
that be? Mostly matted things or framed and
pieces
matted?
of art
Okay.
will be displayed, and
So it's kind of like a clothesline exhibit, except you have little tables. and-
exactly, exactly.
And the members' work will be displayed $5 a piece for members to display just one piece like we have here.
Okay.
And those will be on the bandstand on
Oh,
easels.
so those will be
And-
highlighted.
Yes, and those will
Okay.
all be for sale. And
Okay.
the artist in their 10-foot by 10-foot space, some of them will put up canopies. And we're also going to have a potter, a person that does beadwork. We're going to have,
Demonstrating their techniques.
yes, and their work will be for sale. We have a couple photographers that are interested, and they'll have cards and framed work and matted work. There'll be a wide variety
So
of
there's
things.
going to be a lot to see there and a
Yes.
lot to purchase, probably for very reasonable prices.
People
Oh,
could
it's
start their Christmas shopping in August.
So Dean Park, August
20th from
20th.
10 to 3.
What day of the week is that?
That's a Saturday.
Saturday, August 20th.
And artists that are interested in reserving a space should go to the website. The applications are right there.
artistguildshrewsbury.com.
Yep, it's all right there.
Tell us about some of the other projects, like the bus trips and...
Well, we're planning on working on some bus trips to go to Boston or do day trips, and it's a great way to get together and save a little bit of money, so we all go at the same time and make a day of it.
Sure.
There's one in
Gas
Boston.
and parking can kill you on these trips.
Yeah.
So
that's-
if you can get a group together and not,
Yes.
But also it's so educational to get yourself out to see some of these shows that are out, wonderful exhibitions. We have such a advantage of being so close to so many wonderful museums and sites.
I'm very proud to say that 2 of our members had work in the most recent exhibit at the Worcester Art Museum. You did too,
Juried
I
by
know.
Annette Lemieux, yeah?
Yes, yes, it was so well done.
That was a nice opening. What a
It
crowd.
was wonderful.
Yeah.
And an
If you
email-
haven't seen that show, it's still at the museum, at the Worcester Art Museum now.
An email went out to all of the members asking them to go and celebrate that some of our members had work on display.
You know, I can't stress, and I think you would say the same exact words, how important it is if you want to do art and be involved in the arts, to have a peer group that you can go places with, that you can talk about art with, that you
Yes.
can share your ideas with, that you can help each other.
Show your
If
work
I'm
to-
sending work to a show in New Hampshire, you might be wanting to send work there, and instead of us having to go back and forth, you take it up, I pick it up. You know, it's a wonderful way of sharing your love of art, and I think this is a great organization, and I'm very excited to see the work you're doing. So the bus trips, we never mentioned all the other educational programs you do, like the demonstrations,
Yes.
and you have critiques.
Yes, the focus of our monthly meetings is usually an artist who will demonstrate and lecture to us. He'll talk about what materials he's using. Some of them even talk about their color choices.
Sure.
And it's wonderful to sit and hear their personal experience
And
about
actually see them
see
do it.
See them do it. It's wonderful. And then at the December and May meetings, the members bring in their work, and we have some social time, and then we line up all the work, and we have a peer critique.
And I think talking about the work is very stimulating and important for an artist also, because it clarifies what you're doing or what you
Yes.
might not even know you're doing,
Yes.
especially hearing other people's takes and responses.
Yes.
So that's
and
great.
I find we really feel that we know a person in a different way when we look at
Yeah.
their art.
And you've
we
had-
speak to them about it.
And you've had many different speakers. Bob Aiello, I
Yes.
know, was one who
Yes.
was.
Bob did a 20 by 20 oil painting in about an hour and a half.
He's a
And-
guy who could do it.
Yes, and everybody enjoyed it.
Yeah.
It was just wonderful.
That's great.
And I think most people left that meeting feeling inspired, that
And
they
they
could
want to
go
go home
and
and
do that.
work.
Yep.
Exactly.
They want to get out there, paint and work.
Okay.
Well, plus the chocolate chip cookies.
Yes, we always have.
You can
That
always
does
come
make
for
a
the
difference.
cookies. There are plenty.
They are great.
So who else do you have coming up as a demonstrator or a lecturer in the near future?
Our September meeting will be the second Monday in September, and Bill Griffith from the Worcester Art Museum classes is going to be our guest speaker.
Oh, he's a fun demonstrator.
Oh, he is. And people love his work, and we're trying something new. People who want to bring in their watercolors and paint along with Bill will be invited to do it.
It's like a
It should-
sing-along.
Yeah, it should be great fun.
So that's the second
The second Monday in September
at
at Southgate in the community room.
right off of South Street.
Yes, Julio Drive.
Julio Drive
South
off of
Street.
South Street in the community room.
And directions are on our webpage.
So go to the website and check that out, and you can go even though you're not a member.
Right, non-members pay $5 to come in, and if you're a member, you just walk in free.
Well, is there anything else you want to tell about? So we want to remind you that we have the art festival, the Shrewsbury Artists Art Festival coming up in Dean Park, August 20th, a Saturday.
Yes.
What's the hour? What are the hours on that?
From 10 to 3.
10 to
and
3.
Artists that want to reserve a 10-foot by 10-foot space should go to the website, artistguildshrewsbury.com, and file their application no later than August 1st.
And don't forget to go to that website and look at the opportunities that they present for exhibitions, for plein air painting, for trips, for lectures and demonstrations and critiques. So we're really encouraging you to come out and become a member of the Shrewsbury Artists Guild and support them and go to their shows and help them to grow the organization, because I know we have lots of members, lots of artists in the Shrewsbury community, and we're hoping that we'll see you at some of these future events. So for now, I think that's about all we have time for, and I thank you all for being here today and giving us your afternoon, and we hope you'll come and visit with us again next time for another edition of Arts and Ideas.